Hello, Facebook world. This is Kimberly and Conor Tracy here from Big Red SEO. We hope you are having a fantastic Friday so far. Yeah,
we do.
Yeah, cool. So, hey, we wanted to chat. As many of you guys know, if you've been watching us, we do weekly recaps that help small business owners, regular business owners, even marketing individuals learn little tips and techniques that you can apply on your own. Of course, we always hope to have your business. We always hope to be able to help you. If you do want to have some experts do those services, be sure to reach out to us. We're super passionate about what we do. In the same time, we understand the importance of adding value to our communities as well as the culture of everything that's on the internet, right? We specialize in the search engine optimization specifically, as well as pay-per-click ads. And then, of course, WordPress website design. We've just decided to niche ourselves because it's the platform that we love the most. But today we had a specific service that we wanted to cover with you guys, and it's wrapped around your Google My Business. Now, if you're brand new to SEO, let me just do a quick recap of what this is. When you establish your business, you're going to want to register it through Google. You could just go to google.com and you can actually find, maybe Conor can provide the link after the video. You can find a way to create your own account. This is actually a free tool created by Google specifically, where you can have your company information inside this area. So when people search, whether it's a keyword term or if they search your business to check your credibility, this listing actually comes up into the right hand side. So usually, traditionally now, if you use the internet, you'll see like maybe you're looking at local restaurants that are vegan or vegetarian, which is always a hunt for me, right? To the right in those search engine consoles, the companies will actually, one of them will come up. The dominant company will come up and it'll have their information. It'll have their hours. It'll actually have their company details. It'll feature some images. It could also feature some videos per se. And it features a couple other things in that area. This listing is free for you guys. You can create it yourself, or you can have and hire somebody like us to create it. But there's a specific strategy that can happen with this. The majority of businesses are not utilizing the Google My Business to the full power and capability that it could have. Yeah. And I would say in the last couple years, for sure, you know, Google always does testing in the background. They're always trying new things, testing and adapting. And Conor keeps up with this stuff. So a lot of times we don't talk about the different stuff that's going on in Google My Business because it's more testing on, are they going to keep it or are they not? We experience this with restaurant industry, HVAC industries, a bunch of different industries, right? But there are specific areas that you can actually take core advantage on if you actually apply them. And so today in this video, we're going to cover that. So hopefully you have experience with Google My Business. Hopefully you have a listing. If you don't, no worries. Conor put the link down below. Yep. You can watch the rest of this video, go back and create your listing, right? And then apply these little techniques. It'll give you the competitive advantage, and more than likely, businesses are not taking advantage of this. So you will get more leads. So let's get started. Are you good? Okay. So
am I good?
Are you good? Are you good? Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I did put the link down below. It's google.com/business. That is how you get into the Google My Business section. A lot of people, as Kim mentioned, they'll fill out their phone number and their address and kind of forget about things after that. Maybe put a logo in, sometimes not. But you should be putting in images. You should be putting in a description. Yeah. You can get, I think it's 500 characters now.
It's a pretty long description.
So you can fill that out and then also define what your categories are. So if you are a pest control company, make sure it says pest control service as being your main category. And I have seen people put in inspectors and stuff like that, but those are mainly limited to home inspection, which would be like roof inspection. So if you're a roofer, make sure not only do you have roof replacements in there or roofing company being the category, but home inspector would probably be another category to go with. Yeah. So those are areas that people miss. One of the other ones that we see all the time is the Google Posts. Yeah. So we get done with our video, we copy everything, we make everything do what it's supposed to do, and then we upload onto YouTube and then cross-post a link out of our Google Post. That post is good for 7 days, and then it falls off. Yeah. But a lot of people don't even bother to fill that part out. So definitely you'll want to fill those. There are, as Kim said, there's lots of changes happening right now with Google My Business. there's a whole new carousel thing being put in for images, mainly for the restaurants and for the hotel industry. But there's now a new section that they started testing last week for businesses that will now rotate and do an image carousel on that. Also, when you do a search, if you're searching for an image of something, especially on a mobile phone, there's now a way of, instead of just scrolling through all the different images, they now have an amp slider, and you move that up and it'll actually preload the page where that image came from, so you can get more information. So they're doing a lot more stuff mobile based. One of the big ones that came out 2 days ago, yesterday, all the days are running into one. But one of the big ones that came out was Get a Quote.
Yeah.
I think was the new one. So if you are a service-based business, there's now a button option on there for Get a Quote. And people can either request a quote directly there or link off to your own internal system, either on your website or through a third-party company. So so there's request a quote or get a quote. I think it's the ones that they use. On the hotel end of things or the restaurants, there's the Book Now, and all of that integrates with. There's a reservation system for the restaurant industry. Get a table or book a table or Table Now. Something like that. But anyway, Google integrates directly with all of those. It even integrates with hair salons. We talked about hair salons just earlier today. We were doing some keyword research stuff on a hair salon, which is always interesting. But they do have an area that you can book an appointment now with a hair salon, provided they have it linked up to their software. And I can't remember the name of the big one that's out there.
I don't really know. There's a couple different ones in salons, right, as well as yoga studios. More than likely, if you're in that industry, you probably already have a software that you're utilizing, right? So really quickly, a couple things is whenever you do the Google My Business, as Conor mentioned, a lot of people just set it and forget it, right? Like in anything marketing, you don't want to have this strategy. We get that you guys are busy individuals and professionals, right? We understand that there could be a lot when it comes to marketing. The key area is to create some kind of strategy and some kind of schedule where you can update these things consistently. But really quickly, what I want to do is go through the best practices when you have a Google My Business listing, the do's and the don'ts, right? So number one, when you are creating your account, or if you currently have an account already created, your company name needs to be the legal company name that's of your business. So if you have your business registered, which hopefully you do, but if you don't, go get it done. Whatever name represents that needs to have it. At no point is it acceptable for you to add or keyword stuff keywords inside of your company information. A couple things that happen is if you do that, if you go through that practice, and maybe you get lucky in your industry, people are not doing SEO, you might get away with it for a while. But if the peers that are in the same industry as you do SEO, they're going to report your business. And then what happens is your Google My Business account gets flagged because it's not the appropriate or the legal name. And go ahead.
If you're a bagel company, so Omaha Bagel Company, for example, that's okay to put in there that it's Omaha Bagel Company. That's perfectly fine. If you put in Omaha Bagel Company, the best bagels in town, that's not the company name, and therefore you'll basically get flagged for it.
Right?
If you do get flagged, you could get removed off the listings. And it may not just be temporary, it might actually be permanent, depending how bad the issue is.
Right. And so here's the other thing too, like with the bagel example, if you are Bagel Heaven, right, that's the company name, and then you do Bagel Heaven, Omaha's best bagel company, you'll get flagged for that because you're trying to keyword stuff inside of a title. Believe it or not, go ahead.
And even Bagel Heaven in Omaha, just putting that is enough to get a flag.
And the thing is like, there's a lot of people doing it. So you will see, if you follow the herd, we want to prevent you from even getting penalized right out the gate or experiencing something like that. So stick with the company legal name. There's other areas that you can finesse and work to get some SEO juice or more traffic or whatever else that you need to do. So just attempt to avoid putting keywords in that don't have it. Now, if you have a company, like Conor said, Omaha Bagel, and that's your name, use it. Like, put it in there. Like, you already have it. You already have the legal documentation for it. So proceed forward. You don't have to change anything else with that, right?
And there are some exceptions to the rule. So some franchise companies don't have to adhere quite that way. There's a different set of rules they have to adhere to. So like Jimmy John's, for example, Jimmy John's on 23rd, Jimmy John's on 46th Street. They're allowed to do that. It's part of how the franchise system is set up. But they're not allowed to do Jimmy John's Best Sandwiches or Freaky Fast or whatever else it is. They can't put their slogans in their name.
Unless it's their company name, right?
Unless it's the company name.
Yeah. So, and there's some people that do get creative. If you want to get creative, go ahead. We just want to make sure that you do the best practices and you clean it up, right?
Yep.
Okay, so another area within the Google My Business that a lot of people don't think about and consider is the actual images that you could put inside of it. So within the area, we call it like the gallery area, you can put images as well as you can feature videos. Most cases, people will put their logo for sure, and then they might put one or two images, and they're usually kind of sketchy images. Like, they've taken it with their cell phone, which is not to say cell phones don't take good pictures, but it's kind of like that. They set up the account, they're like, oh crap, I have to issue an image.
Snap.
And they rarely ever pick the best image, right? So the thought process is, when you have your Google My Business listing show, if you have more than 3 images, multiple images will kind of show there, but there's going to be one dominant image. Yes, you can have that image be your logo. However, that's not really going to tell people what you do, right? That's not going to feature your company or feature your personality or anything like that. So when you put images inside your Google My Business, you can for sure watermark your images with your logo. That's acceptable by far, right?
And encouraged.
Yeah, and you can actually cross-share those over into your social media, which is another tip that you can have, so you don't have to double efforts here. But it's really important for you to feature either it's the business owners or the team or the culture or you doing business. Say that you're in business and you've got some people that did testimonials. Why not get a picture with those individuals and your team at the same time? And you can utilize it for other marketing for testimonials as well.
Definitely. And even going on that level. So when you're talking about with the teams and stuff like that, the images should be of you, your business, your team, and your products.
Yeah.
If you are a real estate company in Omaha, and I picked that because almost every real estate agent does this. They take a picture of downtown Omaha and they have a picture of the fountain. It's a stock image that's been shared on every number of sites. Those, in particular, this particular stock image, actually says
same image.
It says it's editorial use and it's not for advertising. So they're in violation of that also, which is a completely different topic for a completely different time. But where I'm going with it is, if you're a real estate agent in Omaha, don't just take pictures of the fountain downtown or the steam train coming through town or whatever else happens to be. Those are not representations of what your business is.
Right.
And the same thing here in town with a lawn care company. You should be showing pictures of the lawn care, not the NCAA tournament that comes through town or the baseball or whatever. Yeah. Unless it's your team at the game. If everybody's in work shirts and they're hanging out and they're at the game, and that's
still
one of the
even
things.
if it's a team at the game, I get it, but that's kind of more of a put it on a website or social media
that's a social
than
media
actually
post.
On the Google My Business. That was a really good one. Yeah. So here's the deal, guys. Like, if you are a real estate agent, whether you're in Omaha or anywhere around, you want people to know pretty much what you do. So why not take a picture with the person that you just sold the house to or whatnot, or bought to, and take a picture in front of the house and capture that with them holding the keys. Now, if you do that, we highly recommend on the internet to remove the actual address of the house. So you'll have to blur out the number if it's on the side of the door, stuff like that. Privacy is important to people, right?
And there's also geolocation tags in there, the actual GPS coordinates of where that image was taken. taken,
Yeah.
that should be stripped out. It's called the XIF. But
yeah, so it's very important to make sure that you feature what you actually do. The inside of the building is very important to have. However, there's some people that go way overboard with that, right? Like, and that's a whole
pictures of the coffee maker
side subject, right? It's important to feature what you do and how you do it. So if you, again, the hairdresser, like we were doing research earlier, if you're a hairdresser, you can do a picture of the before and after, right? You can also do a picture of maybe a candid shot of your client in the chair while you're doing the service and somebody takes a picture of you doing it. The thought process is people want to be able to see themselves in the experience of the seat, or like they're doing the service with you, right? A lot of people are not doing this, right? So like think about it, take some strategy. If you need some help with figuring out what to do and how to do it, it's a service we offer.
Contact her.
Yeah, so the other part too is also the video side of things, right? If you can get a promotional video for your company, awesome. Like we definitely do that, go that route if that's your gig. There's nothing wrong with you actually snapping your own video, right? Like it's actually, people love it, especially with Facebook Live now. Like attempt not to over edit it and have it over professional. However, you can feature and tell people how you're different and ways you're different and what you help people with and how to go about it.
And do a 30-second walkthrough of the office.
Yeah, you can do that.
From the front door.
Yeah, you can do that. Or even like maybe it's a frequently asked questions. Again, you can tuck this into your Google My Business, guys, and you can cross share and utilize this in your website as well. So if you notice there's a mesh between, you don't have to just create one thing. You can utilize it in multiple different areas. It's a matter of if are people actually doing it, which unfortunately they're not. So hello, here's the video. We're giving you guys all the gigs, right?
And you mentioned frequently asked questions, and that is an item inside of Google My Business that 99% of people don't fill out. They
don't fill out.
So here's the thing, and it's actually in the rules from Google. You don't have to wait for somebody to ask a question.
Right?
So you can ask the question and answer it. And that's perfectly acceptable. So go through and do some of the frequently asked questions within your the Google My Business profile. And if people like it, they'll click the thumbs up, and that'll move that up higher on the list. But perfectly acceptable to do that and encouraged. And a lot of people don't do it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a good one. I actually had it written down. I was tucked down, but I'm glad you brought it up now, right?
You said it. I'm using it.
I know, right? The other part too is your actual company information, your overview for company information. So as Conor mentioned below or earlier, there's like 500 words that you can have captured inside of here. So typical practice for businesses is they go and create this listing and it says, so tell us about your company. And they're like, oh crap, I don't know anything about my company. That's usually the first hit. So they go to their website, snag something that they put on their website, pop it into the Google My Business, set it, forget it, and they're done, right?
I'll come back. I'll finish that up later.
I'll finish it up later, right? Or they steal it from somebody else's website. No, it says it close to mine, right? So here's how you take the competitive advantage and activate your power in Google My Business. As a business, depending on what services you have, you want to write your description based on the ideal client you want to attract. So like if you are if you're in a salon and you want more hair coloring haircut clients, your description needs to be written like you're attracting the hairdresser hair color clients, right? Say that you're a massage therapist and you want deep tissue medical massage clients, right? You want those that are like niched in, less spa-ish, and more like, let me get in and fix you, right? Your description needs to be written for that. You can definitely feature and highlight all the services that you provide. However, the description can capture that ideal client to know, yes, that's exactly what I want, right?
And do it first. You know, so at the very opening, the very beginning of your description, we feature deep tissue massage.
Yeah.
That should be the very beginning. Now, there are industries and certain companies that will put in established in 1983 or it's been around for 40 years.
Yeah.
Depending on what it is, depending on what your industry is doing, sometimes showing the trust or the longevity of the company is the highlighted item
Yeah.
in order to convert the sale.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's, I'm looking for this service and I want this answer.
Yeah, and so here's the deal. Marketing wise, that form, I'm glad you brought that up. That form used to be really important. It's less important now. Like people, whenever they're looking for a service, history is important. Yes, when you're open is important. Stuff that tuck it into your website for sure. But people, they have a problem. They need a solution. Rarely do they ever ask, how long have you been in business? Right? Like think about a service that you've had. Like if you've gone and booked something, you probably didn't ask them, hey, when did you open? Instead, you're more focused on, I have a problem. Can you provide me a solution? Right? I have a problem. Can you tell me that you're trustworthy? I have a problem. Are you speaking the language that do I want to do business with you based on my beliefs and my views and my opinions? Make sense?
And if you're an architecture firm and you opened up yesterday, probably not the best thing to say established yesterday.
Well, I mean, who knows? Like, okay, I want to counter this real quick, because if you are an architecture firm and you just opened yesterday, the cool thing about it is there's so many projects out there and businesses out there that want to actually build now, but they're on a wait list.
True.
Right? They're on a 6 month to 4 to 5 to 7 year wait list to be able to get done. So with that, great idea, right? I would challenge that hardcore.
I don't know. If I was hiring somebody to build a bridge and I need them to build a bridge over a highway, chances are I'm going to be going after a company that's been established a while.
But if they have the certification and they went to the school and they got the thing and they've already been into an internship, they might have it.
If you can do it, you can do it. You know, I was talking to a guy earlier this week. I had a meeting with, he was going in for a job interview, and he's out of college in a different degree, and he's a programmer now, but he doesn't have a degree in programming. He's been applying at different jobs. He has the experience, but doesn't have the piece of paper to say he's got the experience. Right. And it's one of those catch-22s. A lot of the big companies, they want to see the piece of paper. Right. And then they'll say, oh, well, you must know it because you read the book. Man. And then the smaller guys are all like, do the work, and then we'll talk about it.
So, okay, so to wrap around with the company description, say, I want to do a more niched one, because this is a really cool technique. Say that you're a company that does roofing, you do plumbing, you do electrical, you do all of it in your house, all in one area, right?
General contractor.
The fascinating thing is, for this, if you have your Google My Business listing and you have your description, you want to feature whatever season you're about to be in or you're currently going to be in. And you want to create a strategy where you update this every quarter, if not a little bit before the new quarter hits. So you want to update your company description seasonal based, right? And the thought process is, you're not going to say, oh, I only offer this service, but at the very, like Conor said it before, the very first sentences, you want to highlight that you are the expert of this, if that makes sense. It's an easy way to like get a boost and say that you're going to be hitting what they call a dead season. We typically don't believe in that. We've looked at analytics and found like the majority of people believe they're slow, but marketing, it's not really slow.
Right. So from a dead season, like a lawn care company, for example, yes, they're dead in wintertime, not physically doing the work, but they should still be busy booking the appointments for next year. Yeah. So there's still people looking for information over wintertime. They just may not be actively performing the service at that time.
Right. Yeah, for sure. So this is the technique where you can actually change and integrate seasonal based, right? Again, you want to get away from the set it and forget it. And you want to think of who is your ideal target market, right? This is also really, really great for those that maybe they want to grow in a specific area. And every quarter they have a strategy. Like maybe they offer 4 services and they're like, what direction do I need to grow the most? Where am I wanting to grow the most? And they lean with that because they have company and businesses in all the other services already. It's an interesting technique that we've applied in a couple different areas and had really good results. So,
and we use it ourselves.
Yeah, we do.
On a regular basis.
We do. The other part too we want to chat about is actually the updating or the practice of updating your hours. So Google started actually sending out pretty consistent emails to businesses to say, hey, update your holiday hours. Hey, are you open during the holidays or whatnot? And I don't know if you guys caught this or not. Like it happened probably the last 6 to 8 months. I see it pretty consistent. So the thought process is Google specifically wants you to engage with your end users, but they also want to provide a good end user experience to clientele. So if you're a restaurant, are you going to be open on the holidays? They do the small little thing that says hours may vary, but rarely do restaurants specifically or businesses go in and say that they're closed.
We have faced that.
Yes. So the thing is go in and update these and put things in, like put your hours in, because believe it or not, Google is like, oh, that's a business that cares about their end users. It cares about the experience. They're helping and assisting. They're partnering with us to say, yes, we're open. No, we're not open. And they're giving valuable information. They're giving correct information, believe it or not. We have not heard that it's a test factor. However, what I can tell you is the businesses that update the hours based on holidays, or they're going on vacation, or they're just not available, they get a little boost.
Yeah. So there's nothing, it's correlation versus causation, right? So we don't know for sure that the reason they got the bounce was or the boost was because they updated the items. However, what we have seen is people that have updated the items have received the boost. So that's the correlation, causation end. But the thing that we know that causes that little bit of a boost or that good graces from Google is keeping information updated and current. Yeah. So when they send the alert to you saying, are you closed 4th of July? And you might have already said that you're closed 4th of July. Still click the button and verify with Google that, yes, I'm closed 4th of July. Right. They're looking for that feedback. They're looking for that integration. They're looking for you to actually make those changes. And that goes along with the Google posts and the description that you talked about. Modify that on a semi-regular basis. Now, with all of that, don't go into your Google My Business and update everything all in one shot. You will likely get temporarily suspended. Yeah. Usually a couple of days. Yeah. So
do a little bit here and a little bit there.
Update one thing at a time. So if you're going to update your description, update that, and 2 days later, update something else. Don't go in and update everything, because believe me, it's a problem. Yeah,
and we're going to talk about that towards the end of the video of a strategy that you guys can utilize for sure. So the hours, be sure to go and update those, even if you work from home. And the other thing too is I understand like some businesses offer emergency services and they do all these different services and they're always available, or they're like, I'm available via phone at all times. Maybe they work from home. You need to still structure your business around some form of business hours, right? Yep. You need to have, like, if you do 24/7, the search engines kind of get a little confused. They're like, wait, like, are you going to take a phone call at 2 a.m.? You might, but what happens if you actually don't pick up the phone or you don't answer the call, right?
And it was Google testing to see.
Yeah. So the thing is like, create a structure, and somewhere in your description, you can put like something of, I accept emergency services or call for emergency services, something to that extent, right?
And we see that with some businesses, chiropractors in particular, where they'll work certain days of the week and they're off other days, or they're available by appointment only on a Saturday, for example. Yeah. So, and that is an option you can put inside of your Google My Business.
Well, and I don't know if it's still valid, but I do know that Google was testing a while back where it said, would you recommend this company, or did this company answer your questions? Here's the deal is, if you're a chiropractor or any business that's closed, but you say that you're open, it takes one person to contact you and you not be open, or say that you do not accept appointments on this day. It takes one person to give you a bad review. And if they write out that bad review, I'm going to get just kind of serious and take them to church for a second. If they write that bad review and they get the information out there, that review will stick. And more than likely, the search engines, Google specifically, because it's in the Google My Business listing, they will more than likely post it, and they will not delete it or tuck it down, because it's based on your business behavior activity, if that makes sense. So again, follow the best practices, be as truthful and honest as you can in the services you provide and the days that you provide it. And believe it or not, even if you're closed on a Wednesday, people will probably come back or still contact you, right? Okay, another section to kind of wrap this up real quick, and we've talked about this in previous videos that we've had on these weekly recaps. It's the Google My Business posts, and Conor actually briefly touched on it at the very beginning of the business. A couple of things with this. A lot of businesses are not doing it. It is separate from your blog inside your website. You want to have unique content that you put into this, again, because you're feeding the search engine, Google specifically, right? You can take elements of your copy from your website and utilize it, but you need to build unique content and build this section uniquely based on that, right? The other part too is in the Google My Business, you need to ensure that you're consistent with the posting. So if you're going to utilize this, create a strategy where you can do it where it's not super overwhelming for you, right? That you can kick stuff out. And again, it's about providing knowledge, value add, stepping forward as the industry leader. Maybe you talk and you share stuff that could actually help somebody in Texas, maybe that's not in a peer of you in Omaha, Nebraska, right? The thing is to create a strategy around it. In this section, you can produce content and you can have an image and you can have videos. So you can actually have all the above. So the Google My Business post, whenever you load a browser, it's going to be tucked towards the bottom. So it's below your images. It's below your company information, your contact information. It's below your description. It's actually even below your hours, right? If you activate the book now or get a quote, it would be below that as well. And it's kind of like a knowledge panel. The cool part about it is if you feed this, you have a high chance of getting into the Google information knowledge panel. Even with putting information in your website. So we always talk about adding quality content in your website. That too can get you into the Google knowledge panel as well. So why not take advantage of all these different areas? Again, this tool is absolutely free to utilize. So if you've got the time and you've got the knowledge on how to build this stuff, why not use it?
So when you're talking about knowledge panels, so the right-hand side of the screen is normally where the Google My Business is, and that's the knowledge panel. Are you referring to the text at the top on the left?
It's
the
both.
Snippet?
Yep, okay. It's both. Yep.
So there is it's what's called rich snippets. And it's basically where Google takes the top item from a website and then uses that as the featured snippet for the results. So if you're like last night I was looking, the back window in the car wouldn't roll up. So I went looking for the fuse box. I needed a diagram for a fuse box for a Dodge Durango. And it was a challenge just to find that. But I did finally, with my right search, I found the right place, and now they had the featured snippet at the top, and that allowed me to easily click on that, get the answers that I needed, and flipped out the fuse, and it works.
I was super happy.
Who knew I was a mechanic? I'm not a mechanic.
So again, guys, like with your business, the Google My Business area has a lot of power and you just have to activate it. So with that, on August 15th, we're actually starting a 4-week course to help small businesses. Conor had mentioned you don't want to necessarily go in and activate all this stuff and update all this stuff at once. You'll probably get flagged. So we actually broke this out in a 4-week course to help small businesses. So with this, what it includes is every week we would actually hop on a video call. We would walk through and give you some snippets of education and information. And then we would answer frequently asked questions that you've got regarding whether it's growing your online presence, whether it's adapting and evolving your Google My Business. We would even give mentoring and coaching on what images should you share, how should it go about. And believe it or not, when it's in a group setting, multiple people learn multiple different things that they've never even thought of. So again, it's a 4-week course. If you're interested, feel free to private message us or put a comment below. We'll get into contact. It's fairly affordable for even those that are starting to launch and get their business going, right? With that, we're going to help with the scheduling and the strategy of when should I post this and how should I go about this? Hey, I'm looking to do videos. What do I need to do? It's kind of you get both of us on a video and we help you and mentor you in growing your business and your online presence. So this specific thing, we're actually taking enrollment until next Thursday, August 1st. So if you want to be a part of this, feel free again to private message us. You can always call us 402-522-6468. That's our phone number. But let us know if you want to be involved in this. It's something that we're really excited about and that we kind of set up because we do it ourselves, right? And it's like, what ways can we help people be able to do this and not have to overthink it and not kind of get lost in the, I don't want to take action because I'm not sure if I'm going to do it right. So why not hop in and have us help you?
Yeah, we have done the all-in-one-day course.
Yeah.
And usually what happens is everybody, they do go home and they do the work initially.
Or they go home and take a nap.
But they go home and they'll do the first set and then kind of forget about doing all the other things. So by breaking it out into individual things, it I won't say it's spoon fed, but it's definitely drip fed in a manner that you're able to complete the tasks usually within 15-20 minutes after the course.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Okay, cool. Well, thank you everybody for joining us for this weekly live. We will be back next Friday. If you have gotten any benefit from this, including our smiles, feel free to like and comment below. If you wish to share with other business owners and friends, feel free to do that as well. But in the meantime, we wish you a great weekend. We hope you have a great rest of Friday. And if you're tuning in on the replay, hello. We're glad to have you. Okay, so we'll see you next Friday.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Bye now.